Life on the Walmart FLW Tour can be grueling. The cross-country travel, coupled with the pressure to perform tournament after tournament, it never lets up because at season's end, an angler's income is paid by the pound. But after the last fish has been weighed and the final winner crowned, the pros scatter, returning to their favorite destination, home. Veteran Scott Suggs lives in Bryan, Arkansas, and after 16 years on tour, when he's home, he's learned to put the off in the off season.
Every person's different, but myself, there for a couple of years, I went out and I tried to fish 12 months out of the year. By the time the season really kicked off in February and March, I was burnt out. I was tired, I was sick of fishing, and I didn't perform well.
So now, during the winter, Scott devotes his time to his other two passions, family and hunting, preferably both at the same time. But just because he's not doing any fishing doesn't mean he's not thinking about it.
As many hours as I sit in a deer stand, you can only imagine what all goes through my mind. And I do. I relive most of 2010, and I try to start thinking and hoping and living 2011.
By the first of the year, Suggs is ready to do more than just ponder the possibilities.
I try to stay as far away from it as I can, so when the year rolls back around, I'm pumped, I'm ready, and right now I'm ready.
Readiness begins in his garage. Wall to wall, bait and tackle. The inventory is staggering.
Usually if it's landed on this wall, it's not something that's going to, in my mind, going to play a role in the next event I'm going to.
That means he must methodically assemble an arsenal for each and every tour stop. Part of it's custom built, like crafting jigs he can't find anywhere else.
I pour my own. I pour a couple different sizes. I like certain hooks in them. I like certain paint colors. So I spend a lot of time in my off season, pouring jig heads, painting, tying jigs.
That's where all the hunting comes in handy. Deer tails make great jigs.
I'll cut it in little sections about like that right there, put it on my heads, tie my heads, and I'll have my own personal tied gray jigs, and this is Alva deer tail. As a matter of fact, I think it belonged to him.
He also likes to do some recycling, performing a little cosmetic surgery on the oldies but goodies.
I take them and I sand them down usually, and I repaint them and really kind of make them the colors I want.
Don't be mistaken, Suggs believes the baits manufactured today are better than ever before. But on some days, there's just a shade of difference between winning and losing.
If we get on bodies of water that a crankbait's working really well, I can change colors using the same bait as everybody else, and I can throw a color that nobody else is throwing. With the guys we fish against, every little advantage counts. It doesn't matter if it's across the counter when you paint it or when you tied. It's all up here when you're throwing it, the confidence level. You gotta have the confidence in it to throw it and stay with it. That's where it's all at.
So how do you build confidence? Suggs finds it's just out his own back door, in his swimming pool, or more accurately, his test tank.
The test tank's a pretty cool deal. I mean, I've got lines drawn in the bottom of it and, or built in the liner and everything. And it's just a giant test tank swimming pool for me and my kids, and a lot of bait testing goes on there. It's doing perfect. I mean, it's waving from side to side.
His neighbors probably think he's gone off the deep end.
Well, that one's perfect. That one is perfect.
But really, Suggs is finding his rhythm, sweating the small stuff now.
Now it's favoring a little bit to the left.
Because here he can see what later he can only imagine.
How wide the action of a crankbait may be. I can tell if it's running right or if it's running left by watching the line, how far out of line it's running. Sweet, isn't it?
He's got high hopes for this year, but like all experienced tour pros, Scott knows it won't always go well. All this preparation is designed to minimize those bad days.
It seems like I can ride a lake, spend a day on a lake, maybe not have a good day, and I don't get much sleep that night.
Adding to the sleeplessness, the Forest Wood Cup is back in his home state, back at the place where he made history.
I'm nervous, I'll tell you that, because it's going to Washington, the championship, and I do get a little nervous when I do think about it.
His one-man training camp calms the nerves, and who knows if he finds just what he needs on the wall of his garage, and his baits are running true. By the end of August, Scott Suggs may have another cup and at last get a chance to relax again, maybe even take a dip in his test tank.